Hi, I'm Sean Grant, and today I want to talk to you about finding emotional freedom. And I also want to let you know why emotions are the most important part of our lives. So, like me, a lot of you may have grown up being taught that you have to be successful in life, you have to get a lot of stuff done, you have to accomplish a lot, you have to be this way, you have to be that way, you have to be all these things. But in most cases, with a few exceptions, you hadn't been taught to express your emotions. And for me, I grew up with something called the superhero syndrome, is what I like to call it. And what that is everything you experience, you keep in, especially if it feels like it might be a burden on somebody else. So, in doing this, growing up, I held in so much that it just started to pile on, until ultimately it just wrecked my energy sometimes. And since I have a strong personal will, I always tried to fight back with self-talk, but eventually a battle of that magnitude is only going to tire you out. Hence, I found myself being tired and worn out more often than I should have. But one of the things I figured out with the help of my awesome wife was that I needed to release the emotions that I was having pent up. A lot of times stuff would happen and I would say, you know what, it's great. It's not a problem. It's done. As opposed to feeling it and saying, you know what, I didn't really like that too much. I didn't like the way that person approached me. I didn't like the way they made me feel. And by keeping all that stuff in, I was on the verge of having an emotional breakdown and ultimately a heart attack at the end of the day. I remember I went to go see this guy for Chinese medicine, and he says, your heart is really weak. And so I'm like, why is my heart weak? I work out, I do this, I do that. Turns out I was holding in so much that it just couldn't take it. It just couldn't take it at all. So what I want to encourage you today to do to find that emotional freedom that I have is just to express them. Like I said before, my wife helped me to talk about all the things that I was experiencing and to help me to find that it was okay, to say how I felt. And it was okay to be vulnerable. It was okay to be disgusted. It was okay to feel angry and allow that to pass through your body, because once I started to actually implement that, I became so much happier. And right now, I can totally feel the divine essence that I've been searching for my entire life. It's like I meet certain people and they're just happy. And you can't even put your finger on it, but they're just happy. But now I'm finally feeling that happiness. I'm finally feeling that joy, that peace, that excitement about life in general, even though nothing is really going on right now to bring about excitement. It's just a natural joy that you feel within. So once again, if you can get to this place of just being able to express yourself, being able to feel those emotions and clearing any type of emotional blocks, this will transform your life in such a wonderful way. And I guarantee you will ultimately feel better, because as soon as I started releasing it is when I started to feel my aura, my electromagnetic field just expand. And I couldn't help but to smile because I was so happy, because all that junk that was piling up was finally being expunged, from my being. And because of that, I can live such a happier life. And I want that for you. I want you to be able to have that emotional freedom, because once the emotions get right, you can attract anything you want in your life. You can be anything you want in your life. You can have anything you want in your life. Before I let you go, I want to share something with you. I always used to think that it was skill, that it was talent, that it was hard work that got you to a place to where you wanted to be and allowed you to be happy about who and where you are. But ultimately, it's emotional freedom. And what emotional freedom is the ability to be happy, to be excited, to be joyful at any time because of nothing else other than you have this life. You're in this life and you're making the most of it. So, With that being said, find your emotional freedom, express yourself, release it, don't hold it in, because there's such a wonderful world out there waiting for you when you do. Guys, thanks so much for joining me today. It's been truly awesome. Have a wonderful day. Take care.